fake cheese.
Yeah, that's just a prayer. All right, why don't we get started before we formally call the meeting? Why did it go red? It was green. Did I touch it? Chair Raposo is excused today, and we're going to start with, as we do from time to time, words of wisdom. And for today, we're having Kumulena Ala Pavao Jardine, and it looks like some of the members of the Halal. Please come forward and hit that mic so it turns green, the red light.
Morning. Aloha kakahiaka. Good morning, everyone. You know, I've learned over years from speaking and doing blessings that don't even prepare a script, because the best message comes from the heart. And so when I was invited to share some words of wisdom this morning, I've been thinking about, what am I going to talk about? What do I have to share? Unless you want to learn how to kaholo uehe, you know. But, you know, the last year has taught me a lot, and I think every day we're blessed to be alive. We're blessed to live on this island and call this island our home. And you folks are blessed with a huge kuleana, which is to make decisions for the betterment of our lahui, our people on this island. And, you know, Kaua'i is special, Ni'ihau is special, and on behalf of the people of our islands, mahalo nui, because I know each and every one of you have, you know, it's a big task. It's a big task to do what you do. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about change. I truly believe nothing happens by accident. Each of you, all of us here, we're here for a reason. We're here because we want to serve our community. We're here because we want what's best for our people. And sometimes change is not welcomed, right? People are afraid of change, and this group of our leaders, I think it's time for change in our community, and we get really scared. And I share this as a mother of a 16-year-old who is on his way to Georgia right now to play baseball. And why am I talking sports is because when I travel to the mainland, they have the most beautiful athletic complexes. They have all these things that we look at it and go, gosh, but what they don't have is they don't have Kaua'i. They don't have Hawaii. And so I recently had the blessed opportunity to do the blessing at Waimea High School, and they're getting a huge gym at Waimea High School, and with that, a tree needed to be removed. And so that change, you could see in the faces of some of the people there, they were just afraid of that change. And so when you go through making big decisions, which affects people and their emotions and connections to certain things on our island or places, sometimes it's bitter. The change is tough because it comes with criticism. And so I want to share something that King Kamehameha, and some of you may have heard this before, but, you know, we love King Kamehameha. He never conquered our island of Kaua'i and Ni'ihau, but we still, you know, mahalo and aloha are ali'i. They kind of, if you think about it, paved the way for all of us, yeah? But there is a saying that he said, imua e na poki'i a inui kawai ava ava. It is a well-known battle cry. Some of you may have heard of this before, that Kamehameha called out while at battle on the island of Oahu. Hundreds and thousands of lives were lost. But he said this, the phrase drink of the bitter waters, unfortunately talks about how sometimes we gotta drink that bitter water, we gotta take the criticism, but we know that in the end, we are making pono decisions for our people. And I just hope that today, I want to start off with a prayer, and then we have some ava. You do not have to partake if you don't want, but if you would like, we will serve you a little bit today. And I have with me my daughter, Breeze, and we know through my health journey, Breeze has really stepped up to the plate. And boy, you know, it's being a kumuhula. You're not for the weak. There's bitter. You got to get through it. Turn your thing on, honey. Yeah, there you go. But in the end, when you do things the right way with the greatest of intentions, you forget that ava. You forget the bitterness of the ava. You just feel the accomplishment and the aloha from everyone else. Behind me, I have 4 of my haumana, and I asked them to specifically to be here today. These 4 attend Kamehameha School's Kapalama, and they're home on summer break. So I wanted them to be here today because this is a mele. They're going to share a short mele with you all that they shared at their ho'ike this year at Kamehameha Schools, speaking of the ava. And when you look at the ava, the plant itself, it's such a simple plant, but with such a great message, right? Drinking that ava, while it's bitter, I don't care what anybody say, yeah, unless you flavor it with other stuff, it's not the best drink in town, but get through that bitterness, and in the end, aloha prevails. So I want to start off with prayer to our Heavenly Father. If we can all bow our heads. Pulekako, dear Lord, we thank you so much, Lord, for today. We thank you for another day of life, another day to be here to serve our people, another day to love and cherish our families, our children, our kupuna. Lord, we're just so grateful for all of the blessings that you bestow upon each and every one of us here in this room and all of your children throughout. We thank you for being able to live in harmony. We ask for patience and grace and strength and humility amongst all of us, all your people, Lord. And today we ask a special blessing upon our council members. Lord, you have allowed us to have some of the finest. This is a very, very special group of leaders you have put forth for us to utilize, to pave the way, to make the changes that are necessary for our keiki, for their future. Now is the time, Lord, and we just ask you to embrace us, to hold their hands and guide them in all their decision making. May our people and the best intentions go into everything that they do. A special blessing to their staff as well, who we know behind the scenes work so very hard. Lord, we thank you for our keiki. We thank you for our halau to be here and sharing in this message from our ali'i Kamehameha. With all changes, we ask that only good come from, because everything and anything that is of you will be just so beautiful, filled with love. We say these things in your precious name, Keakua. Amen.
O tahaina tapu e o tau, makahatai, mai kahiti tu, kahiti moe ta'awalai, eli tau, eli tapu, eli noa. Tahai ia tomole a atamana tahito. A ia tomole tai, te tupunga iau, te moe mai po te patamala maala, hele, ave lai, vili o elai, ho vali o elai, ho hainulai. Tama ona no te ia o tulani o tamaile hei noa hali ilua e tahava i te alo tamaile. Ua kano ta'awa ta'awa mu e la kane. Hauna pe alua pa ihi o ili tutai ana avatai to atai pohu on alolo kailai. O tahaina tapu e o tau, makahatai, mai kahiti tu, kahiti moe ta'awalai, eli tau, eli tapu, eli noa. Tahai ia tomole a atamana tahito. A ia tomole tahito. Te tupunga iau, te moe mai po te patamala maala. Hele, ave lai, vili o elai, ho vali o elai, ho hainulai. Tama ona no te ia o tulani o tamaile. Hei noa no kamaile. Pai kalima.
And at this time, we have some ava. They will come around. If you wish to partake, you can place your hands up. If not, you just kuno, and they will skip you. And not a problem if you don't want to partake. All right, shalom. Just line up. So this is informal. In a much formal aha ava or ava ceremony, it would be very, very intense. We'd all be crisscrossed and sore our knees and hips from sitting for so long. But just may today you remember that this is a ho'ailona, or a message to create good for our people, even if changes and tough decisions are involved. You want to partake with them?
Sure.
And when you're done drinking the ava, they will come around and collect that, and then we'll pa'i lima, clap our hands. You want to collect that? You may go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, friend's done already. One more. And all together, let's pa'i lima 3 times. And mahalo, mahalo. God bless. And thank you to those of you who've been praying for me. I appreciate it very much. Love you all. Mahalo nui.
Mahalo nui loa kumu and our mokehana ohana.
Yes. Thank you.
Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Okay, next, before we call our meeting to order, we have another item. We have a certificate for Sergeant Matthew Spang, and it's from Chair Raposo and Councilmember Kaneshiro. So the floor is Councilmember Kaneshiro's.
Yeah, so I'd like to welcome Bart up. It's a pleasure for us to be presenting this certificate. So Bart works really closely with the Wounded Warrior Project, and he's been hosting a few of the Wounded Warriors, and we have a Wounded Warrior coming in today. It's Sergeant Matthew Spang. So I'm going to read the certificate, then I'll open it up for Bart to say anything. I know Bart did provide a agenda of what Sergeant Matthew Spang will be doing this whole week, and you can see all of the organizations and everyone that is helping to put it together and make it a wonderful trip for him and his family. But I'll read the certificate, and then we'll open it up to you, Bart. So, the Council of the County of Kauai congratulates and welcomes Sergeant Matthew Spang and his family to our community on the Garden Island. Sergeant Spang is a true American hero. On December 7, 2011, while serving his second deployment with the 130th Engineers in Afghanistan, Sergeant Spang experienced an event that would change his life forever. He was on a route clearance mission when his vehicle struck 2 improvised explosive devices, IEDs, simultaneously. The blast resulted in the loss of both legs below the knee and severe injuries to his right hand. Following the incident, Sergeant Spang was airlifted to Landstuhl, Germany, where he received critical care that laid the foundation for his recovery. He then returned to Fort Sam Houston in Texas to begin the long and courageous journey of healing physically, emotionally, and mentally. Matt is now medically retired from service and pours his energy into what matters most, his family and his new passions. Along with his devoted wife, Janelle, and their two incredible children, Tristan and Eli, they face all challenges together as a family that is filled with love, laughter, and unwavering resilience. Matt has found tremendous strength through sports like sled hockey, wheelchair basketball, and golf, outlets that not only offer challenge and joy, but also a deep sense of community. At home, he has embraced the role of stay-at-home dad, taking pride in guiding and supporting his children each day. Meanwhile, Janelle thrives in her career with USAA Bank, which she works in banking solutions. Matt and Janelle's partnership is rooted in mutual love and support, navigating life's complexities with grace, grit, and gratitude. Matt's journey from the battlefield to fatherhood and beyond is a testament to the power of perseverance and incredible bonds of family. The Kauai County Council extends its heartfelt appreciation and gratitude to Sergeant Matthew Spang, Janelle, Tristan, and Eli for their heroism, and welcomes the Spang family in making Kauai their new home. And with that, I'll open it up to you, Bart, if you want to say anything.
So thank you for this, guys. The timing, the flight was kind of off, and so they're coming in today, and I'm going to present this to them. My name is Bart Thomas. I'm actually the Kauai Veterans Council member. I've been there for 9 years, and I'm also the director for the Military Museum. We've done this program so many times, and it's wonderful. I want to give you guys a quick testimony of a family that I did about 6 years ago. The gentleman sent me a letter, and he talked about, I put him over at the Wild High. He's lost both of his legs and left arm. I'm up at the rack, and I watch him, and he's taking his wheelchair and pushing out in the sand about 20 yards. I'm like, oh, no, okay. So I'm out there. He gets out. He goes, Bart. I go, what? What's going on, Joe? He goes, oh, I'm worried. I go, why? He goes, look behind me. I go, yeah. He goes, I look like a monk seal dragging my butt back into the ocean. And that's the warmth of these guys. He wrote me a letter and says, you know, Bart, because of Kauai and the love that the Kauai Island gave us, I got to do two things. I got to be a father again, and I got to be a husband again. He said, and that's what this program does, and this is what you guys do. The donations on this project is phenomenal. People have donated so much to help support these guys, and I truly appreciate the council to supporting this program as well. You can see in there, in that itinerary that I gave you guys, that it's full, including Oahu has reached out, and Pearl Harbor is going to be sponsoring them, and Kauai as well. So very excited, and I'm always very excited. I have one of my veterans that are on the councils behind me, Captain Rod Green. He's a testimony of what we do, and I appreciate everything you do, sir. So anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I appreciate you doing this, and keep up the good work. Following these ladies, I couldn't follow it. So, mahalo, guys. Appreciate it.
Questions from the members?
I just want to thank the Wounded Warriors program and all this that we do for people. And we just came back from National Association of Counties, and I know the committee I was on, Human Services and Education, we brought forward 5 new priority resolutions to support our veterans, and they were unanimously supported by all the counties around the country, because it's really, really important, especially with all these recent conflicts, how much we need to really work to support all our people coming back. So I appreciate it. Please give them, obviously they got the certificate, but our sincerest gratitude for their sacrifices.
The one thing I wanted to emphasize, Felicia, is that this program actually, it's a offshoot of Wounded Warriors.
Okay.
It's dedicated to this island, and so we call it Warriors on Vacation, or Vacation for Warriors.
Okay.
And so everything that we do, it's not using that organization. It's through our own county, which is really cool.
I apologize for how I used the term, but they are wounded warriors that come on vacation
I understand
here.
that. And
So, yeah.
appreciate it. Anyways, guys. I work night shift, guys. I'm going to bed, so.
Anyone else? If not, we'll present you with this certificate. We'll take a quick break. give them the certificate. I don't know if you want to take a picture with it or you want to wait
Yeah,
and give
please
it
do.
to.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Okay. That's good.
The preset.
Good morning. I'd like to call to order the July 16th council meeting. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bolasan?
Here.
Councilmember Carvalho?
Here.
Councilmember Cowden?
Here.
Councilmember Holland?
Present.
Councilmember Kaneshiro?
Present.
Vice Chair Kaua'i?
Present. And
present.
Council Chair Raposo is excused. The next item is the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve in a second?
Second.
Okay, is there anyone in the public wishing to testify? Seeing none, members, any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion is carried. Clerk, could you please read the next item?
On page 2, the minutes of the following meeting of the council, the June 25th, 2025 public hearing regarding bill number 2960.
Could I get a motion to approve in a second?
Second.
Do you have any public testimony? Seeing none, members, any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Clerk, next item, please.
Next item is an interview for the Charter Review Commission for Christine Ng, term ending 12/31/27.
The Allen's coming up already. And we have Christine with her, so Alan, you can get us started.
Morning.
Bernie.
Ellen Chiang, Boards and Commissions Administrator. Today I'm happy to introduce Chris Ng. Chris was born and raised in Honolulu. After graduating from Punahou, she attended the University of Denver in Colorado, focusing her study on hotel management. During a year of foreign exchange attending Nanzan Daigaku, or University in Nagoya, Japan, Chris decided to change her major and be closer to the ocean. She transferred to Occidental College in Los Angeles and earned her bachelor's degree in biology. She then attended San Francisco State University to study gerontology, and then returned home and graduated from UH Manoa with a master's in business administration. If that wasn't enough, Chris is also a graduate of the Pacific Century Fellows Program, which provides a broad perspective on the issues and priorities in Hawaii. She jumped into her career at HMSA, developing health education programs, and then transitioned to corporate planning and conducting strategic planning for HMSA. In a cosmic foretelling of her future, she met Robin Pratt and became fast friends. After 7 years at HMSA, Chris was offered a position as vice president with Hawaii Family Dental's corporate office. The office provided administrative support to 10 dental practices throughout the state, and Chris was responsible for marketing and strategic planning. As luck would have it, she met and married a fellow Punahou graduate and dentist on Kauai, Dr. Alan Ng. When Chris first moved to Kauai in 2004, she started her own business in management, corporate training, and mentoring. At the same time, Allen, or Chip, had already been working at Hawaii Family Dental on Kauai for 10 years and was on the verge of establishing his own practice. In 2006, Chip opened his own dental office and recruited Chris to manage the operations and business end of his burgeoning practice. Together, they built and grew a successful dental practice with a reputation for excellent patient care. In 2022, after 16 years, they decided to sell the business. The sale of the practice allowed Chris to dedicate more time to other professional and volunteer activities. She now oversees the employment of caregivers for her parents on Oahu and manages commercial properties on both Kauai and Oahu, responsibilities previously handled by her late father-in-law. Chris and Alan are the proud parents of two boys aged 12 and 19. Their oldest has just completed his first year at UCLA and is at home working as an intern in the county. In her free time, Chris enjoys volunteering. She previously served on Easter Seals board and was president of the UH Alumni Association. For the past 10 years, she's been on the Island School board, where she is currently the board vice president and also serves on the governance and strategic planning committees. She loves to travel. As a family, they've often visited New Zealand to go fishing and shell hunting. Japan is also a favorite destination. Her ultimate dream trip would be to go on an African safari tour. With more time on their hands, Chris and Chip are involved in community soccer and flag football for their youngest, fishing, camping, and spending time at the beach with their two English bulldogs. Chris has never served on a county board or commission. With all of her expertise and knowledge in operations, corporate, and strategic planning, I'm so grateful that Chris is willing to share her talent and valuable time with the Charter Commission.
Thank you. Would you like to add anything, Chris, or just say a few words?
The only thing I'd like to say is just thank you for this opportunity. If approved, my nomination is approved, I would definitely take it seriously. I have a lot to learn, not having been involved with any county volunteerism or efforts in the past, so I do look forward to the opportunity if approved.
Members, anyone have anything? Councilmember Cowden?
Thank you so much for being willing to do this, and so it's deeply appreciated. And what I'm really liking that I'm hearing is it sounds like between both your professional stuff with HMSA and Hawaii Dental, you would have a lot of experience with contracts, and it sounds like you have experience with boards for well over a decade. So that positions you well to be prepared for this. I'm curious, have you had much experience with the charter? Like, have you read it or looked at it?
No, I don't have much experience with that.
So you understand the charter is like the Constitution for the county?
Right, I do understand that.
So this is one of those boards where you don't actually get very many of the things that you look at done, which is kind of a good thing because it's important to have a lot of prudence with changing the charter.
Okay.
But sometimes the charter needs to be changed, so it takes a lot of attention to details.
Right.
So it sounds like you have the time to handle that.
Right. Now that my husband and I have sold our practice, the business, I have more time on my hands. I have a little bit of familiarity in regards to kind of like charters with Island School's bylaws.
Yes,
Kind
it's
of similar.
similar to bylaws. I know when I first was running, and then when I first got elected, I bothered to read the whole charter all the way through. It's not easy to just remember it all.
Right.
But it's a good practice to really familiarize yourself with it, so you understand if you change something here, it might affect it, somewhere else. So I thank you for your willingness to do this.
Thank you.
Councilmember?
I also thank you. I just want to thank you for being willing to step up and serve in this capacity. So much interesting information about the incredible history. Your husband's a fabulous dentist. And I just am really thankful that you're willing to step into this kind of, county position of volunteer. And it is really important what our charter says. And so it's just wonderful to have, your voice on it. So thank you.
I look forward to the opportunity of giving.
Thank you.
No others? Yes, mahalo nui loa for your willingness to step forward. Looking forward to supporting you later. Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Clerk, on next item.
Yes. The next item is an item on the consent calendar for receipt 2025-150.
Move to receive.
Second.
Tim?
Second.
All those in favor of receipt signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. And the next item, clerk?
Communication C 2025-151, communication from the Executive on Transportation requesting council approval to dispose of various records pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statutes, Section 46-43 and Resolution Number 2021-48, which have been kept for over 7 years and are no longer of use or value.
Go ahead.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right. Members, do we have any questions for the administration? Who's here? What is this? No? No questions. Okay.
Really?
Is there anyone in the public wishing to testify? Doesn't look like it. Any discussion, members? Council member?
I have a brief comment. I just want to say, I did look through it. I'm usually nervous about throwing anything away, but it looks like this is pretty routine information, and I imagine most of this is recorded somehow, somewhere electronically too.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problem with it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion is carried. Clerk, next item, please.
C 2025-152, communication from Darren Rose, Assistant Chief of Police, Police Operations Bureau, requesting council approval to accept funding from the Enhanced 911 Board in the amount of $1,022,025 for annual recurring and non-recurring expenditures to operate 911 services as part of the Kauai Police Department's Public Safety Answering Point and Alternate Dispatch Center.
To approve.
Second.
Members, any questions for the administration?
I have a simple question.
Okay, can we count them up? Can we get the KPD team up? Or Chief K?
Morning, Vice Chair, members of council, Kalani K, KPD.
Thank you.
I'm thankful for this $1 million that goes towards our dispatch, a very important service that affects everybody on the island, whether we make that phone call or not. This is mostly reoccurring, right? But it also says non-recurring expenditures. Is there anything new or different in how we're spending this money than we have done in the past? Do we have any new software, or is it just basically positions and operations costs?
The spending plan for this is similar to what we've come forward for in the past. The HRS is pretty specific on what we can use these funds for, but to your point earlier, these funds here from the board is critical for us to maintain our emergency operations in PSAP, the KPD.
And when we, our next agenda item, it's basically feathering into this. So it's nice that we have two different departments supporting dispatch, and I'm sure it all handshakes well, and so this is the police's contribution towards it. Mostly, but it's all feathered in the same way it always has been.
Two different funds, but yeah, they're both blended into our operations in the PSAP.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members?
I have a
Questions? Yes?
Aloha, Chief. Nice to see you. Just a more general question. I'm actually interested in wondering, does the 911 or does the 911 ever go out? Do we ever have, because when we were just at the NICO, the whole Philadelphia city 911 wasn't working. I don't recall us having that kind of.
We've had some troubles in the past. Most recently, our non-emergency line has been having troubles.
Oh, okay.
But
241 dispatch number?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But we have had situations where 911 went out. It's very rare.
Yeah.
But we're supported by our vendors, Hawaiian Tel, which is the local vendor, and Intrado, which is the vendor that software vendor that we use.
Okay, interesting. Thank you.
Any other council members' questions? Thank you, Chief. So if there's no further questions, while the rules are still suspended, do we have anyone signed up? No, right? Zoom? If not, anyone in the room wishing to testify? Please come forward, Mr. Hart, followed by Mr. Cyclos.
Dr. Bruce Hart, good morning. I just want to take this opportunity to acknowledge that our dispatch services are critical, so that the public understands that these are employees of KPD. They're not sworn officers, but I've spoken before, and they are professional. And since I've had to make 2 911 calls in my lifetime, I understand how important it is. And so I, too, am grateful for this money to support this match. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hart. Mr. Sarkos?
For the record, Lonnie Psychos. First, could the council clarify where this money comes from? Is this federal money or state money or federal money routed through the state? I'm assuming it's ultimately federal money. And so for the council, the question is, looking at the national outlook coming up in the next couple of years and the defunding of basically everything by the federal government, I'm fully in support of receiving this money. But what are we going to do in 2 years when this pot of money dries up, or if it dries up? And so that's, you know, food for thought and a different agenda item, and I'm sure the police department is taking this into consideration as well. And so that was simply my question, was where does this money come from? Which, just where's the money come from? So anyway, thank you very much. And also, my other question was, is this the funding that allows you to text 911? Because in the past, you could only get voice contact with 911, but as I understand today, you're able to contact 911 through texting. And so that's critically important to people in areas with poor cell phone coverage, as well as people that have an immediate threat that they're basically hiding from. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience wishing to testify? If not, Chief K, can you come back forward? All the rules are still suspended. And then can you confirm some of the questions we just heard, answers to some of the questions we just heard from the testifier? Federal, state, where does the funding come from? What will we do in 2 years if this funding dries up? And then if this funding allows the additional text ability for 911 calls.
Yeah, so the text to 911 service that we utilize is paid for by these funds. And it's not just for KPD, it's statewide, all the PSAPs in the state. These funds here are not federal funds. These funds here, actually, all of us who have phones pay a surcharge. So if you have a cell phone, if you have a landline, excluding like government type of lines, we all pay. If you look at your bill, there's a surcharge on there for 66 cents for every single line. And the cell provider or the phone company providers collect these fees from us. They put it into a special fund, and that fund is managed by the 911 board. And then we disperse those funds out of the board based on the needs of the different PSAPs across the state.
Thank you. Anybody have any other questions for Chief? Thank you, Chief. Okay. I'd like to call the meeting back to order. Members, discussion. Any final discussion before I vote? Not. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion is carried. Clerk, next item, please.
C2025-153, communication from Elliot K., Acting Chief of Police, requesting council approval to receive and expend recurring state funds in the amount of $201,306, which funds 3 emergency services dispatcher positions with a total anticipated amount of $789,748.51 for the fiscal year, and approval to indemnify the State of Hawaii Department of Health Emergency Medical Services and Injury Prevention System branch for the contracted period July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026.
To approve.
Second.
Members, any questions for the administration? Let's hear. You gave me a look. Was that yes or no?
No, I think he basically answered in his last
If not,
question.
no. Thank you. Okay, well, the rules are suspended. Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? It's like, no. Okay. Call the meeting back to order. Members, any final discussion?
Just general gratitude for all the people in our dispatch and all the people in the police department, as well as KEMA and everything else that helps that to function well.
Okay, thanks. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Clerk, next item, please.
On page 3, C2025-154, communication from the prosecuting attorney requesting council approval to receive and expend funds in the amount of $55,000 for contract DHS 25-0YS-519 and to indemnify the State of Hawaii Office of Youth Services to continue the Kaua'i Teen Court Program, which is subcontracted to Haleopio, Kaua'i for a tentative time period of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2027.
Second.
Members, any questions for the administration or the prosecutor?
Very, very simple. Very simple
Question? Okay, well, we're going to have them forward. Thank you. Councilmember Calvin, your question?
Yeah. Basically, thank you always for what we do for our teens. And I just always like this is the only opportunity we get to really ask, has there been any changes or adaptations? Are you getting enough money, not quite enough money, more or less equal to what we've had? Is it sufficient, and are you good?
Jamie Shanks, Grant Coordinator, Prosecuting Attorney's Office. We get the funds from OYS, and it basically has been the same for the last, I'd say, 6 years.
So inflation has been profound in the last 6 years. Is it meeting your needs still yet?
Haleopio has been able to utilize the fund. I'm sure they would, accept any more funds. We do also give them $20,000, $10,000 each year from the county, from our department.
Okay. And so the program's basically continuing as it has, and it's fine. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members with questions? No? Thank you. Well, the rules are suspended. Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Seeing none, call the meeting back to order. Any final discussion, members? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion is carried. Clerk, next item, please.
C2025-155, communication from the fire chief requesting council approval to accept a donation of one 40-foot shipping container and associated indemnity waiver language at an estimated value of $1,000 from the Hawaiian Lifeguard Association to support the Ocean Safety Bureau in reaching its goals of supporting lifeguards' needs, promoting preventative life-saving actions, and providing water safety education and skills to ocean safety professionals, keiki and junior lifeguards, community members, and visitors to Kaua'i.
Can I get a motion to approve with a thank you letter to the Hawaiian Lifeguard Association?
Second. To approve.
Vice Chair, we do have a speaker also.
Yes. Any?
We have a speaker, is that what she said?
We have a testifier.
Okay, do we have anybody here? I have a simple question.
From the fire chief?
Yeah.
Okay. Morning.
Thank you so much for this. I'm assuming it's going to be for storage? And
Greenland.
Yes, for storage.
For storage. And then, so where is it going to be located?
We had talks about putting it over at either a Anini, where we have our roving unit, the
Okay, so we'll put it.
tower.
Okay, so it's like North Shore.
Yes.
And then, so it would just be somehow at the park there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Is it, how big is it? It's 1,000 square foot, right? It's like
40
a half size?
It's a 40-footer.
40-foot container, okay. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. No further questions while the rules are still suspended. Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Seeing none, calling the meeting back to order. Members.
We do? Yeah, we do have.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Lonnie Cycles.
I knew that. You signed up. Lonnie Cycles, please come up. How are your notes?
for the record, Juan Psychos. Might be more entertaining to tell us to come on down.
Come on down.
Come on down.
Price is right. For the fire department, when I read this communication, I want to thank Member Cowden for asking most of my questions. But another question that I have, which is, why did the lifeguards want this? You know, obviously it's futile. But where was it going to go? And it begs the question of whether or not this was a request from the Ocean Safety Bureau that needed this, or if this was simply a spontaneous donation. I'm just curious about how it is that this occurred. And for the council, if you go back in your list of communications to the police department, they tell us in the communication simplistically exactly what the money's going to be used for, right? So it tells us enhanced 911, emergency services, dispatchers, positions, etc.
Yeah.
But in the account from the fire department, all we have is a bunch of generic talking points, not what it's actually going to be used for. And so for the fire department, you can speed this whole process up by doing a better job of telling us what you're actually going to do with the county's resource versus simply these generic statements. I'm fully in support of accepting the container. I wouldn't be surprised that they could use a half a dozen more. And for the council, coming up probably is going to be a request for either the fire department will shift money inside their budget, or they'll be coming to you looking for money because it's unlikely they're just going to put it sitting on the ground. It'll last longer if you get it off of the ground and insulate it from the moisture of the ground. And finally, $1,000 for a 40-foot shipping container is a extraordinarily mind-blowing good deal. I paid $1,400 for a 20-foot container in the 1990s for my farm at the time. And so whoever got a container for $1,000, tip of the hat to them. Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience wishing to testify? None? Calling the meeting back to order. Members, discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion is carried.
C2025-156, communication from Kaua'i, Clerk of the Planning Commission, transmitting the Planning Commission's recommendation relating to plantation camps and plantation camps wildfire and wildland urban interface zoning amendments.
Move to receive.
Second.
Okay. These are all, the next coming items are all the communications for the bills for first reading coming up. Anyone wishing to testify? No further discussion? Oh. Seeing no one wishing to testify, seeing no one for further discussion, all those in favor of receipt signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion is carried. Next item, please.
C2025-157, communication from Council Chair Raposo, excuse me, and Councilmember Carvalho, transmitting for council consideration a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 8, Article 27, Kaua'i County Code 1987 as amended, relating to shoreline setback and coastal protection to amend and update the shoreline setback ordinance adopted in 2008 by adding definitions and safeguards that protect life and property and ensure the longevity and integrity of Kauai's coastal and beach resources along the shoreline.
Move to receive.
Seeing no questions from members, seeing no testifiers from the audience, and no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is carried. Next item, please.
Chair, next item is a claim to C2025-158, communication from the county clerk transmitting a claim filed against the county of Kauai by Maria Lourdes Henry for personal injury and medical bills pursuant to Section 23.06 Charter of the County of Kauai.
Move to refer to the county attorney for disposition and report back as necessary.
Second.
Anyone wishing to testify? Being none. Members, any discussion? Not. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Clerk, next item, please.
Next item are committee reports on page 5 from your Committee on Public Works and Veteran Services.
Move to approve.
Second.
Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Members, any discussion? Not. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is carried. Clerk, next item, please.
And from your Committee on Housing and Intergovernmental Relations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? None. Members, any discussion? Not. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion is carried. Clerk, next item, please.
Next item is a resolution, resolution number 2025-31, resolution confirming mayoral appointment to the Planning Commission for Jacqueline Kaina, business.
Move to receive.
Second.
Okay, this item is a request to withdraw the nomination.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
at the request of planning director. So, receive. Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Hearing none. We'll do a roll call on this.
I just wanted to say something first.
Oh, sure.
No, I just wanted to say, I appreciate Jackie considering the position. It is a huge responsibility, and I also appreciate her, considering it and then deciding, I may not have the right amount of time, or I can't fully commit myself to it. She does have a lot of other responsibilities too, and she would have been a great candidate. But it's just the way it goes, and I just want to thank her for her time. And I know hopefully maybe one day, if time does free up for her, she'll want to come back and be on the planning commission. But I completely understand her decision, and I just want to wish her the best.
yeah.
Second.
Absolutely.
I would like to support that. Planning Commission is a lot of responsibility, and it's difficult, and you really get pushed in the public eye. So, and if you're busy, it's hard to get it done, effectively. So, I am disappointed because I thought she would be a good candidate.
Okay, with no further discussion, clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Cavallo.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Vice Chair Cooley.
Aye.
6 ayes to receive.
Okay, for our next several items, bills for first readings, the one we just voted the communication on, all from planning. At the request of Chair Raposo, the administration will not be present today, just for our first hearing, and then we'll do a full review at a later date. Obviously, this is just first hearing, so we'll work on it in committee
Well,
further.
can I ask a question?
No, they're not here. That's what I'm just telling you.
I mean,
At the
can I ask-
request of Chair Raposo.
I heard what you
Let's-
said.
Okay, if you have
I have a question on it.
for me?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So, does that mean we're not going to discuss these bills?
This is first reading. Let me just read the note again. At the request of Chair Raposo, the admin will not be present this morning, but we will do review at a later date. So if you want to discuss something or make some comments, sure, but there'll be no questions of me or the admin at this time.
So
First
just
reading.
so I'm clear, we're going to do all of this in committee. So
Or at a later date. It could be, we go to public hearing, so, yeah.
okay, I doesn't sit well with me, but that's fine. I will accept that, but I would have had some questions.
And you are always at you can always submit your questions to planning in person too. I mean, on your own.
So
First reading.
First read.
just to be clear, this is 2961, 2962, and 2963.
And
All the planning bills that
Oh, okay,
they met
so all the way
with us
down. 264, 265, 6, 6, 6, 7, 6, 8.
Yeah.
but not 6-9, right?
Not 6-9.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and just
The people that specifically worked on this too are not in the room. I know you might be seeing, someone in the back, but.
I see that. I just had, I
General
like,
questions?
yeah, general questions. Like I like when it's in first read that we actually get to discuss it and understand it. So when it goes to committee, if we're going to have, but if we don't
Not
have
now, but, well, Jody will be available for general questions, but if you start getting into the weeds, then the people that worked on it are not here. And I think Chair's request was basically, he wanted to be here for it. So if you wanted to honor his request, you would hold off.
Right, so it seems like we could defer first read rather than just to pass it in first read.
No. Time sensitive.
All right.
So you should ask questions today if you need to.
Yeah, no, I was going to say we don't defer to first read. We get it through first reading, get it to public hearing, and then committee is where we hash it out. If we don't need to necessarily make the decision all at committee, we can hear it again. If there's more questions, then you defer it in committee. But usually committee is where all the work is. Typically, first reading, they say what it is, and then we hear it again in committee also. So we get
hear it at public hearing.
Well, being me, I typically get a lot of questions answered in first read, but I guess I won't get them answered, so.
Yeah.
And
last comment, we just on procedure at this point.
You can always email also.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I had a great meeting about most of these bills, so I kind of feel like I've had a first introduction to a lot of them, and I was able to ask those initial questions.
We should have all had that opportunity.
And I did, and so there was, I just, yesterday
Follow up.
Okay, never mind. I won't be able to utilize first read. So I understand that. I'm not going to utilize first read.
And again, nobody's here, right, from the department. Okay.
Sounds like we can discuss, but not questions. Right?
Well, and I'll mention to you, if you have broad questions, which, Okay, why don't we get going? We have a lot of these bills. So. Clerk, next item, please. We were just talking about process. We didn't even get the bill introduced yet.
Yeah, okay.
Bills for first reading.
This is proposed draft bill number 2961, a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 8 and Chapter 10, Kauai County Code 1987 as amended, relating to Plantation Camp District wildfire and wild urban interface.
Move to approve on first reading and schedule public hearing for August 13th, referred to Planning Committee.
Second.
Okay, anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Oh, yes, I knew that. Come on forward, Mr. Sanders.
For the record, Lonnie Psychos, big mahalo to the council chair for wasting our time by scheduling this and then not actually doing it. Thanks, Mel. So I spent a little over 3 hours yesterday reading through every single one of these items, and I was left with a couple of major questions. And so the first question is, in one of these camps, the observation's the wrong word, but the observations made that when the units are refurbished, when the fire thing is all done, whether they move the houses, whether they tear them down and rebuild them, that the new housing will be offered to the agricultural employees of the owner of the property. And so what my basic question is, has to do with the economics of this. My guess is if I had to do to my house what's required for the fire hardening for these new structures, it'd probably cost me $200,000 to $300,000. And so my question is, after all of this is done with the housing, how much of this is going to be affordable? How much of this will somebody making, you guys know the numbers better than me, $60,000 a family making $60,000, $80,000 a year, how many ag workers will be able to afford this housing when it's rebuilt. And I don't have an issue with it all being done. My question is, what is this going to look like at the end of the process? Because God knows that area needs fire protection. Right? I have history in it. I was trained by the Department of Transportation and shipboard and refinery fires. Tip of the hat to planning, tip of the hat to Kaina in the amount of work that went into this by him and all his staff, as well as the other departments that end up involved in this. Tip of the hat. I am very, very impressed at the work that went into this by the administration. So I'm fully supportive of it. I'm only curious about how this is going to impact affordable housing in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience wishing to testify? Seeing none, on the meeting back to order. Members, discussion. Councilmember Cowden.
I thought we're not supposed to discuss it. So
No, we didn't have the admin here to answer your specific question.
We can discuss, I think.
I'm just trying to look. I had asked the admin for something about making a certain percentage of the houses, like a third of them, committed to housing that has affiliation with the plantation or the property. So then I was told maybe last night that it had been added, and so I didn't see it. So I was trying to look to see, because we've been on a trip, and we did have a big discussion on it. A concern that I have is that I didn't see in the original format anything that defines it having to go towards prioritizing housing of the people who maybe live or work on the property. So I was just trying to see if that was in there. Because it could be that it just goes market rate, and then it's housing that doesn't necessarily address that community. So I just was trying to double check on it, and so I'm just given some guidance that maybe that had been added into it. So I was trying to find that, and I was going to ask him, I know when he was here, because I don't see it in here where that has been added, but maybe it's in there and I'm not finding it. Because I think there should be some commitment to housing for very large land parcels that are affiliated with it. In the original form that we looked at when we had the meetings that we all did that were very good, and I'm really supportive of this, but it has the potential to be maybe rented by people that aren't necessarily contributing directly in the community. That's not an accusation. I just want, you always have to think what's going to happen 10 years from now, 20 years from now, if there's a change of ownership of the land. I just kind of wanted to see where that was in there. That's where my piece is. And so if it's not in there,
well, you said you said they were going to add it, and you just don't see it yet.
But I'm trying to look at it. We got back
but
last
maybe
night.
it's just in transition, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. So that's why I was going to ask
Okay.
about.
Any other question? Or part of your discussion, you want to put your questions out so they hear it in case you didn't send it to them in writing yet already?
I spoke it to them in person.
Okay.
So
it's always good to follow things up in writing, and then you can get your answers maybe in between meetings if you need it more quickly.
So that's why when we have it in first read, I would be asking that so that I would be able to have it. They've certainly heard it.
I also brought that up, or I also heard that brought up, I feel like.
Okay.
I feel like that came up as well, that they were going to include that.
They hadn't, when I talked to them, it hadn't been a plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
After we talked about it, they said they would work on it.
I feel like I remember that in the meeting as well.
It's on,
I would follow up. For sure.
I'm just, the item you're referring to now is in Bill 2968, so look for it in 2968.
I was trying to.
Okay, well, and we're not on that item, so when you have 5 more bills to get to it, or something like that. So if there's no further discussion on Bill 2961, all those in favor signify by saying, wait, so is this, clerk, roll call. First reading.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kuli'i.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 excused.
Next item, please.
Next item is proposed draft bill number 2962, a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 10, Article 3, and Kauai County Code 1987 as amended relating to the West Kauai Community Plan implementing ordinance.
Move to approve on first reading, schedule public hearing for August 13th, refer to Planning Committee.
Second.
Second, thank you. Anyone in the public wishing to testify? Seeing none, calling the meeting back to order. Members, find any discussion? None? Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kuli'i.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 excused.
Next item, please.
Proposed draft bill number 2963, a bill for an ordinance amending Kauai County General Plan 2018 relating to a parcel located in Wahiava, Kauai.
Move to approve on first reading, schedule public hearing for August 13th, refer to Planning Committee.
Second.
Anyone in the public wishing to testify? Seeing none, members, discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kuli'i.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 excused.
Next item, please.
Next item on page 6 is proposed draft bill number 2964, a bill for an ordinance amending the state land use district boundary relating to a parcel located in Wahiava, Kauai.
Move to approve on first reading, schedule public hearing for August 13th, refer to Planning Committee.
Second.
Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Seeing none?
Okay, so
Members, any discussion?
Yeah, I'm just trying to
On
get.
264,
Yes, I see on 268 it got in there the way I wanted it, so I'm trying to find if it made it in there on.
it does.
So it's on 268. It's not on the others. Okay.
So maybe they followed up with 268 and they still need to follow up with 264. Will you give them the time to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so any discussion on 264? Councilmember Cowden? No?
No.
Okay. Seeing none, all those in favor, roll call. Sorry.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kuli'i.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 excused.
Next item, please.
Proposed draft bill number 2965, a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 10, Article 3, Kauai County Code 1987 as amended relating to the West Kauai Community Plan implementing ordinance.
Move to approve on first reading, schedule public hearing for August 13th, refer to Planning Committee.
Second.
Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Seeing none. Members, discussion? 265. Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kuli'i.
Aye.
6
Next
ayes,
item.
1 excused.
Next item, please.
Next item is proposed draft bill number 2966, a bill for an ordinance amending Kauai County General Plan 2018 relating to a parcel located in Makawele, Kauai.
Move to approve on first reading, schedule public hearing for August 13th, refer to Planning Committee.
Second.
Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Seeing none? Members, any
Okay,
discussion?
I have a little discussion. I'm trying to look
On
at this.
266, yeah?
On 266.
Go ahead.
So this would be very similar to 268, and so I don't see that addition in there that I was looking for. Oh, okay. All right, thank you. All right.
Thank you. Okay, no discussion? Roll call?
Councilmember Bolasan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Sorry.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kuli'i.
Aye. Next item, please.
6 ayes, 1 excused. Next item is proposed draft bill number 2967, a bill for an ordinance amending state land use district boundary relating to a parcel located in Makaweli, Kaua'i.
Move to approve on first reading, schedule public hearing for August 13th, refer to Planning Committee.
Second? Can I get a second? Thank you. Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Seeing none. Members, any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan?
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho?
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden?
Aye.
Councilmember Holland?
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kaua'i?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 excused.
Next item, please.
Next item is proposed draft bill number 2968, a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 8, Kauai County Code 1987 as amended, relating to zoning boundaries in Makaweli and Wahiava, Kauai.
Move to approve on first reading, schedule for public hearing for August 13th, refer to Planning Committee.
Second.
Thank you. And then the addition that Councilmember Cowden was asking for that was said to be here in 268, I overheard Councilmember get word that it applies to all the camps.
So
when she wasn't showing up in the different bills, in 268, it applies to all the camps. Okay, so that's been satisfied. Anyone in the audience wishing to testify? Seeing none, members' discussion? 268, go ahead.
Vice Chair, for the records, 2968.
Sorry, 2968. Four numbers always. Thank you. Seeing no further discussion, roll call.
Councilmember Bolasan?
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho?
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden?
Aye.
Councilmember Holland?
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kaua'i?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 excused.
Next and final item.
Proposed draft bill number 2969, a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 8, Article 27, Kauai County Code 1987 as amended, relating to shoreline setback and coastal protection.
Move to refer to the Planning Commission.
Second.
Moved and second. And so, members, any questions for the administration?
Yes.
Please come forward. Thank you. Councilmember Cowden.
Thank you so much. So can you just give us a basic understanding of the changes that you're making in the shoreline setback for here?
Good morning, Jody Higuchi Saigusa, Deputy Director, Planning Director. This is a proposal, I believe, introduced by Council Chair and Councilmember Carvalho. And so I think we're prepared to really dig into it once it gets referred to the Planning Commission and Planning Department.
Okay, so should I ask Councilmember Carvalho? What is your changes here? I see some of it has to do with adding the definition of primary coastal zone of dune. So what was lacking and why are we changing it? I'm not arguing that there wasn't something lacking. I just want to understand what the goal and intention of this amendment is.
I think in our discussion, we just wanted to make it more stronger, and there was a lot of things missing from the coastal part, right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really solid proposals that could really help to further define things like beach and coastal dunes that could also, the ultimate goal is to encourage resilience and to allow us to encourage folks to consider moving back from the shoreline and the hazardous areas.
Moving back and not putting in any kind of hardening on there?
Correct.
That's being added like to stop the hardening? Because we had put this original ordinance out maybe a year ago. We were one of the first in the country, I believe, putting shoreline setback. Actually, no, this is a longer time ago, right? So when we're looking at this, the hardening of structures, that's the main element that this is about?
It seems like there's various proposals. The clarifying that private shoreline hardening is prohibited in the shoreline setback area is one of those mechanisms that will aim to further protect.
Councilmember Collins, that was one of the bigger ones we talked about with hardening in our showing
Okay.
that we have that setback there.
Because, we've been at NACO all week, and so I tried to read this while I was gone, but there's a lot of detail in here. We just got back last night, so I was thinking we'd maybe get an explanation of what it all is today. But I guess we're going to wait to get an explanation.
Vice Chair.
Yeah.
Yes, Councilmember Hart.
So, my understanding from kind of reviewing this, having conversation with community members on this issue, is that part of this is not necessarily the hardening by like seawalls, to Councilmember Cowden's point, but more vegetative walls that have occurred that have actually expanded out into the beach and claimed, in some cases, a very long distance of our once beach. So when I was a kid, in certain areas that we would go, that there was beach there that's now been claimed by, oftentimes it's naupaka, which is planted and then grows out.
So this is in response, so this is the first time I've really been able to see it very much here. This is in response
So are we
to
having questions for her? If not, we can hold this to discussion.
Well, I am asking a question.
But it sounds like you.
Yeah, no, I was trying to get clear
So
on that as well.
this is in
Question.
response then to the concerns particularly that were brought up by the Hyena community. We did a pretty vigorous walk along the beach out there, and the claiming of shoreline has been very evident, and that creates erosion. So that is what has evoked this bill. Is that correct?
You should ask specific questions to her about the planning part of it, and you should hold off on your questions about the introducers of the bill, because one of the introducers is not even here.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're taking over their bill. So that's,
I'm just trying to understand.
especially
what
when
it
it
is.
goes into discussion as opposed to questions and background and all of this other than a question.
We get 6 days' notice, and so I wasn't aware this
We're
bill
going to
was-
work on it for a while, this first reading, right?
We usually have first read.
This
This bill's going to
Well, it's even going to go to planning
Yeah,
first.
that's why we did it
We
this
have
way.
plenty time.
Remember, and then we
Plenty
send it over
time.
to planning to get
I
more
was like, I
specific.
like to be well informed and understand. I'm very well
And you have
aware of the
plenty time to
problem
do that.
that's there with beaches being claimed. So that's the main piece I needed to know, was that this is about the beaches being claimed and taken. So hardening and then, so
So your questions are answered for now. Any other questions, members? None. Thank you, Jody.
Thank you.
So here's.
Okay, while the rules are still suspended, anyone in the audience wishing to testify?
So Karen just walked in, and this is her.
So, please, can you stop going out of order? Members from the public, we're testifying. Come on forward, Mr. Hart.
For the record, Bruce Hart, I do remember quite some time ago, but I'm looking forward to this. This is one that interests me. And so I think, it would have been nice if we could have discussed some of it on first reading, but I think it's okay. We're going to wait, and it'll come up again. So, like I say, I'm looking forward to it, and I know Chair's watching, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, bye-bye.
Any other members in the public wishing to testify, please come forward.
Good morning, council members. Karen Diamond. I want to say thank you so much to council member Bernard Carvalho and Mel Raposo for introducing this bill. I think it's one of the most important bills that we have. We have one of the best shoreline setback laws in the country. Unfortunately, the exemptions have become the rule, and the amendments in this really will go a long way to making our shoreline setback bill actually be the best. And so I thank you for bringing it up, and I look forward to working on it and making it the best to protect our beaches and shorelines.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other members wishing to testify? Anyone else in the audience? Come on forward, Mr. Cycles.
For the record, Lonnie Psychos. I read the entirety of this bill last night. Tip of the hat to the assistant director and the director of planning for creating this. It is quite extensive and is of great value to the public's interest in not having our beachfront stolen from us. And so my observation is going back a decade when it became public problem of people running irrigation systems into the beach and expanding their growth. My way I look at that is, how much does it cost to buy 1 square foot of beach on the North Shore? And so my guess is beachfront property on the North Shore is probably a couple $1,000s a square foot. And so if some property owner decides to run their irrigation out and steal 100, 200, 1,000 square feet of public beach, that seems to me to be a very serious felony. The conspiracy to steal our beach. And so thank you very much. I know how hard it is for planning to write these things, to withstand court challenges. And so tip of the hat to Kaina, to the assistant, to everybody in the administration involved in writing this. I'm not a lawyer, but I thought it was very, very well written. I didn't see any glaring legal problems in it, and a tip of the hat to them for taking the bull by the horns, because I'm sure there's going to be some very, very unhappy, very wealthy people, and everything in this bill needs to be done. I could complain that why didn't we do this 10 years ago, but I'm wise enough at this age to know writing legislation like this is extremely complicated, and it occurs within the ever-changing world of state law and federal law as well. So tip of the hat to the administration. Thank you very much. And we look forward to this coming to us in committee and later on so we can have a full public discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wishing to testify? For the first time, if anyone wants to come back for a second time, in addition to this share. No? Please do. Come.
Aloha, Karen Diamond. Following up on the last testimony, I just wanted to give an example. On the North Shore of Waianihahui lands, a recent shoreline setback determination gave away just under 10,000 square feet of public beach to the private landowner. And the landowner had applied to the state for a certified shoreline. The maps that they submitted had reduced the property to 25,000 square feet. They withdrew their certified shoreline after the site visit, where the state told them that the shoreline was even further Mauka than they had mapped and had required them to remove all the vegetation. Instead, they withdrew their shoreline certification, applied to the county for a shoreline setback determination, received an exemption that brought the lot back to the 35,000 square feet that it was in 1946. Mm-hmm. And measurably, the just under 10,000 square feet of public beach was given to this landowner, but it wasn't, because our beaches cannot be just given away like that. And so you end up with having, big controversy. Is this the private landowners or the public beach? And I think the amendments in this bill will help resolve that. And certified shorelines are the purview of the state, not the county. The county is responsible for the setbacks from the certified shoreline, and that needs to be put back so that public lands are not given away. And so,
thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else for a second time? Not, thank you. Calling the meeting back to order. Member discussion. Councilmember Kaua'i.
I want to thank Karen Diamond for the tremendous amount of work that she's done actually for decades on this. So this beachfront encroachment has been a problem for at least 3 decades, and I remember we have worked on stuff in the past relative to Hanalei Bay, and I appreciate the tour that you took most of us on, and I know that this is really the tip of the hat goes to you for all this work that you have done, and I appreciate you spent, 2 hours, 3 hours going along the Hyena shoreline, really looking heavily at the examples of how much profound change there's been, of which I'm easily able to recall when the beach was much larger and much more inland. So it's a chronic problem, and I'm very supportive of the effort, and I wasn't aware it was coming on till, just like 6 days ago when we were away at a conference, so I wasn't able to look at it deeply. But I'll be able to look at it more closely. But thank you very much. It's not just Karen, it's the community out there, but you are a big part of that. And so thank you, Councilmember Carvalho and Chair Raposo, for working with the community up there that is addressing the problem.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Yeah, I just want to say this will be referred to the Planning Commission. So Planning Commission is going to work on it, send it back to us. We're going to see it, first reading, public hearing, committee, and everything else. In addition to just the shoreline and vegetation, I know it does add language also regarding repairs, what is substantial and what is non-substantial. I think there has been some abuses on it, and I think it's given planning a little more teeth on it as far as being able to ask for what the cost was for the improvements that they're making, for planning to get even further information on whether it was a substantial or non-substantial repair. And I think that was much needed also, because I think we've been hearing that there were some abuses on that where they're saying they're doing non-substantial repairs and gutting the entire building and redoing the whole entire inside. And so that language helps tighten that up also.
Councilmember Holland.
Yeah, I want to echo my gratitude for Auntie Karen for your years of work on this important issue and trying to claim back our beaches. I can't think of much more important responsibility that we have to make sure that we don't lose these public spaces to private interests. So thank you.
Councilmember Carvalho.
I just want to say, again, mahalo to Karen, because both Council Chair Raposo and myself worked really closely with her and trying to look at having been out there and walked, is not just talking on the paper, but having physically, and most of you have already had, but I think this is a very important, we know, very important on shorelines, yeah. And so I think we have a good we've been talking to them, our planning team, should I say, planning department. And so we've been going back and forth in numerous discussions, but the bigger picture is just to assure that, we have something solid in place to preserve our shorelines. And I think we're on that path right now. So I think it's all good. Thank you.
I have one more statement.
Go ahead.
I just want to make a statement about first read and why, I think it's important when it is in first read that discussion goes out, because the public, many especially activated people, watch our council meetings, and so they become aware of what's going to be on at the Planning Commission, because it's really important for people to come that might be impacted by this. I think there will be pushback from people who have grown accustomed to being able to almost do what they want to make a very nice, beautiful beachfront home. But it's in any of these bills, it's important for the public to hear what we're looking at in first read and not pass it without some sort of discussion. So then once it goes to the Planning Commission, it's robust, and we also hear that public response. So if we need to make any adaptations, we're prepared and ready when it's on committee.
Any other members? Okay. With no further discussion, the motion is to approve. We have and second, so roll call.
Councilmember Bolosan.
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho.
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden.
Aye.
Councilmember Holland.
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Aye.
Vice Chair Kaua'i.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 excused.
Thank you. And our next and final item?
Next item is a bill for second reading, Bill number 2960, a bill for an ordinance amending Section 25-11.2, Kauai County Code 1987 as amended, relating to sewers.
To approve.
Second.
2960.
2960.
Any questions for the admin?
I have a discussion point.
Okay, but there's no one here.
I don't see public works.
No questions. And then any public testimony? Come on up, Mr. Psychos.
For the record, Lonnie Psychos. I apologize. I did not watch the part of the last meeting that pertained to this. So if my questions were already answered, I apologize and thank you for answering them twice. So first off, when we provide a fee exemption for anyone, who pays for it? And so here we are allegedly trying to help workforce housing projects. And so what's the dollar figure that we're offering to subsidize the housing? And so we're already subsidizing housing between $100,000 and $250,000 per bedroom. So who's going to pay for the sewer connection? And the obvious is the person who's trying to build a house. So if you live here on Kauai and your family makes good money, right, you're going to be picking up the cost. Somebody, the taxpayers, are going to be picking up the cost of all these free things. And so nothing's free. So the question is, you give this exemption, who actually is going to pay for it, for all of the expenses incurred by the administration? I also just utterly scratch my head about Section 2, Item A. And so what's a voluntary hospital? What is I know what a nonprofit hospital would be. I know what a non-sectarian hospital would be, but I do not know what a community hospital would be. And I wonder why it is that you wouldn't offer sewage connection benefit to anybody that wanted to build a hospital on Kauai. And so if Catholic Charities wanted to build a hospital on Kauai, right, we're straight up telling them we don't want Catholic Charities building a hospital because we'll give other people an exemption, but we won't give one to you, right? Could be the Latter-day Saints, could be all kinds of people have enough money to do things like that, although it's unlikely they would build a hospital on Kauai. But the question is, why is this language in the bill? What's a community hospital versus any other kind of hospital, right? It's just like, reads to me like it was written by AI, right? Doesn't make any sense.
Thank you, that's your time.
And if there's no one else?
Well, let's see. Anyone else wishing to testify for a first time? If not, we will give you your time for your second testifying.
Thank you. So the A is like, don't understand that at all. Number 2, no sewer connection fees shall be made for any federal, state, or county agency. Now, excuse me, but the federal government not only has more money than us, but they can print money. And so why are we subsidizing the federal government? Right? The way it works in our country is the federal government subsidizes counties. Counties don't subsidize the federal government. There's what, 5 states, maybe 7 states that contribute more in taxes to the federal government than they receive in benefits. And we're one of the states that creates a deficit for the rest of the country. And so federal government has lots of money. Why are we subsidizing them? Same with the state. State has access to way more money than us. Why are we subsidizing state building? Right? Because ultimately we pay for that. The people and the businesses on Kauai that need sewer hookup in the future are going to subsidize all these things that are subsidized here. Doesn't make sense. Some of it does make sense, like the construction of an entire sewage collection system. That is a long-term benefit to the public. Like, I live in the house lots, right? The lowest hanging fruit in this county that I'm aware of to build housing is the house lots and the, what is it, the subdivision up above Elieli, Port Allen, up on the heights, right? So these two communities, you run the pipes in and it's gravity feed down to the sewage treatment. And so instead of the county having to spend $100,000 to $250,000 per bedroom in subsidy, if you ran a sewage line into the house lots where I live, I would immediately go out and get a loan, tear my house down, have my house rebuilt, and I would have 6 bedrooms on my house. I'd live in one, and there'd be 5 rental units that the county doesn't have to pay $100,000 to $250,000 per bedroom. I'll pay for it myself. And so that's the low-hanging fruit that you should be focused on. So anyway, I ask you to address the language in the beginning of this bill, right? It just doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience? No? Let's call the meeting back to order, and we'll have discussion, final discussion by our members before our vote on this. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. We do have somebody on Zoom wishing to testify. So let's see if we can get them.
Hello, Vice Chair Kaua'i and honorable members of the council. Thank you for allowing me to testify via Zoom. I'm Andrew Pereira, Director of Public Affairs for Pacific Resource Partnership, also known as PRP. We represent nearly 7,000 members of the Hawaii Carpenters Union, in addition to 250 contractors throughout the state of Hawaii. Stand on our written testimony and in strong support of Bill number 2960. The council is absolutely on the right track in pursuing fee waivers for the development of affordable and workforce housing. This will allow our home builders to build a financial stack that actually allows projects to get off the ground. As you folks may know from the latest studies available, Kauai is in need of 5,000 housing units, so this will go a long way into meeting that demand. If I may, I just recommend from Pacific Resource Partnership's point of view that section 25-11.1 that you consider a waiver of 1/4 of the standard fee, connection fee, or preferably waiving these fees altogether when it comes to specifically multifamily housing developments. The way developers make their financial stack work is through density, and so by providing these sewer fee connection waivers, you allow that financial stack to be viable, and again, for those projects to move forward. And I would also add that adding new product to the total inventory of housing on Kauai will increase your real property tax base and allow property taxes to remain low for all the residents of Kauai. I've had the pleasure of meeting some of you, but not all of you, but hope to do so in the near future. And again, thank you for allowing me to testify via Zoom today. Mahalo.
Sir, just as a point of clarification, it sounded like there was a point there where you're suggesting a change, but you're in support of passing this today in our second and final reading?
Yes, Vice Chair, and the change I was proposing was under section 25-11.1, specifically to multi.
So in another bill in the future?
That sounds great, yeah, but
Thank you.
I think that would go a long way. Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you. And nobody else, right? Calling the meeting back to order. Members, final discussion.
I have discussion.
Councilmember Cowden.
I looked at the Contractors Association of Kauai's letter that they sent yesterday, so I saw it last night after returning. And so in the second paragraph, where they are very much in support of this bill, I think they make a really valuable suggestion. It says, we hope the council members will discuss having a sunset date of 5 years for this bill, so its costs and impacts can be evaluated by the housing agency and reported to the council to minimize unintended consequences. And right now, housing is absolutely a crisis. So I think it's very important now. But I would like to do an amendment. Did we get it done? Okay, I would like to have an amendment for consideration on that. So I'd like to move to amend.
Is it? Sure, so make your motion.
Okay, I'd like to move to amend to as circulated.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay.
And so we'll look at this, because I think if we allow this to be considered every 5 years, it helps to address the challenges that have been brought up where there's not balance. Last night, I was at the Hopua Place meeting. 51% of that property is intended to be affordable housing, and then the other smaller percentage, just slightly smaller, 49% is market rate. So when we are encouraging these things with 201H, where if it's 51% or more, we're able to basically circumvent a lot of the red tape that goes into putting a housing development together. So when you put in 333 houses with no contribution that's significant, I'm supportive of doing it, but I appreciate that. So if we look here on our amendment, it says, Section 5, this ordinance shall take effect upon its approval and shall sunset 5 years after its approval. We could have that be where, I mean, when it goes up when it's ready for sunset, it could get resubmitted to change, but otherwise, when we don't have that, we're making this commitment indefinitely to some degree.
Yeah, if anything, we're saying it sunsets a future council. We're forcing them to have to either reauthorize it or let it die. So, I mean, and yet, even if we were to make it permanent, nothing is permanent, because in 5 years, that new council could pass a new bill that changes it or kills it.
So I would like to.
So it's just a matter of forcing them to relook at a future council to relook at it when it sunsets.
And
I'm okay with that.
Okay. And in response to Mr. Psychos.
On this?
Well,
on your amendment?
Not on my amendment, but like.
Let's take on your amendment.
If I was if I would add to this amendment.
This is the amendment.
This is the amendment right now.
So let's talk about this amendment right now.
All right.
You made it. It was second. I think nobody has any further questions for you. Maybe we'll take public testimony on the amendment. Anyone wishing to testify on the amendment? No? Come on forward, Mr. Psychos.
For the record, Lonnie Psychos. So once again, I find myself sitting in what has become a very hostile environment. And so the reason this environment is hostile is because what Member Cowden proposed is something that should be in almost every single one of your money bills, which is a mechanism to study the consequences and whether the consequences match the intended consequences, or if you end up with some bucket full of poop of unintended consequences. And to Member Kaua'i, I used the P word instead of the S word. But that's what Member Cowden's trying to prevent, is this thing turning into an S show in the future. You don't know what the consequences are going to be. And so you need to write into the bill a mechanism to study the consequences. This is like poli-sci 101, right? That's the productive use of our money, is to study what the outcome becomes. And so thank you very much, Member Cowden. And I'm embarrassed that I didn't think of this when I came up and spoke earlier, that we need a control built into this bill so we understand how it actually impacts in the future. And so encourage you very much to accept, approve the change to the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to testify? Please come forward, Mr. Hart.
I have no objection to this amendment, and I'm glad Vice Chair doesn't either. Like Vice Chair said, a future council could bring it up, but this way they have to bring it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to testify? Okay, calling the meeting back to order. Members, final discussion. Very simple here. Let's not go on and on. Thank you, Councilmember Kaneshiro.
Yeah, just a process question was typically when we get an amendment, we'd kick it back.
Yeah, but this is simple.
But it's not a major change to it, so I'm okay voting on it.
Councilmember Holland.
I have a concern that 5 years is a very short period when we're talking about housing development.
More than 0, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're going to
the amendment is to increase it from 0 to 5. If you wanted 10, you would have to make a different amendment.
Okay.
So you support this or you don't?
Lima Ola was a 15-year project.
Yeah.
So I'm very concerned about 5 years, but
you support 5. Councilmember.
I'm going to echo. I thank Councilmember Holland for introducing this amendment. I'm going to echo what Councilmember. Sorry, Howden. I'm going to echo what Councilmember Holland is sharing. Considering some of the mechanisms, as it's always important to have ways for us to control and coordinate properly and make sure we're not doing or having unintended consequences. But part of this process also is those unintended consequences are monitored and managed in these projects because they all require multiples of reviews and multiples of control points where we can make sure that we can see how well or not well that this is working. One thing we cannot control is the time effort to understand what's going on. And when we put up sunset rules, oftentimes are helpful. And in this particular, I think it's too short for the amendment. I think if you just look historically, a lot of projects will generally take from 2 to 20 years. And so if this is continually sunsetting and we're using information that doesn't properly gather a long-term review, it doesn't allow us to get the effect that it would need to make. So if Councilmember Khan is willing to amend her amendment.
Oh, okay, you're asking.
I'd be willing to do 10 years.
I'm willing to do 10 years. Typically, you get permitted, and then it's built a lot longer out. So, 5 years, I think, has quite a bit of dexterity when plans are being made. But I'm willing to shift it to 10 because I do agree that things take forever here. But I think that, especially when we have term limits, things change, they change, and people don't even remember it's just what is. So the status quo has a lot of inertia, and it takes a lot of pressure to change it. So 10 years feels a little long to me, but usually we like to think in terms of 5s or 10s, so I'm okay with changing it to 10 if we...
So I'm hearing at least 3 people interested in 10. If I could hear from at least one more person, and then I'm going to explain the clearest way for us to get to that point. Go ahead.
I'm okay with 10.
Okay. Okay, so this is what we'll do. We'll take a vote on this amendment from Councilmember Cowden for the 5. We'll vote that down if that's what you please, and then we'll take another amendment for 10. Okay? So if no more discussion on the amendment to increase to put a sunset of 5 years is, all those in favor signify. Amendment, roll call, no? Let's just do if we have a choice, I'll do a voice vote on the amendment, and then we'll do a roll call vote on the full thing. On the amendment, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? No?
Aye.
Or aye.
You say nay.
Okay, now do you have any further amendments?
Yes, I'd like to move to amend, and it'll get printed out here. It'll be circulated to be identical that says, this ordinance shall take effect upon its approval and shall sunset 10 years after its approval.
Second.
Thank you. Do we need any further discussion or questions of the maker? Is there any further testimony? Everybody gets it? No? Seeing none? Okay.
I have discussion.
Final discussion.
I mean, I'm fine with the 10. I'm not necessarily, I mean, I think it's a bill passed even without the sunset.
Yes.
I mean, we know what the financial impact is. It's a connection fee, which is $1,000. So $1,000 per unit of units that are affordable is what's going to get these type of discounts. And so, I mean, I'm fine either way. So.
Okay. Any other final discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call vote on the, as amended, the 10-year sunset. Roll call.
Yeah, so the 10-year.
The second amendment. Sorry. On the new amendment for 10 years instead of, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. The amendment passes. Now, the original motion as amended with the 10-year sunset. Any final discussion on that?
What I was going to say before, when Mr. Psychos brought up concern about non-sectarian, you know, we have a lot of hospitals and medical things that are run by a church. Is there a reason that we want to not allow that?
I would just say that wasn't addressed in this measure.
We're in final discussion. We're not in question.
It was already in the bill.
Yeah.
That wasn't what was changed.
Right.
Can we stay with order and can we have final discussion, which means you make your points and nobody answers anything. You're not asking questions.
So I will say that I don't have any problem with taking out non-sectarian, just putting a line through non-sectarian.
That would be another amendment. And so we're voting on this amendment.
No, we voted
Voting on this final bill.
So we could add that amendment in there.
Why didn't you do that when I was still taking amendments? We're voting on the final full
Because you told
bill.
me I had to wait.
Okay. Go ahead and make your amendment. We're going to hold off on the vote.
So I would just move to amend to remove the word non-sectarian in there.
Is there a second? Or does staff need to work on anything?
Point of order, take a recess so that staff.
Let's have a quick
I
recess.
mean, do we want to do that if anybody's interested?
Plus we're close to
Are you interested in seconding it?
Are you interested? If nobody's interested in seconding it, we won't waste our time.
Okay. Thank you. Withdraw your.
Okay, I withdraw my motion.
We're back to the full motion as amended with the 10-year sunset. Final discussion.
Yeah, I'll just say I'll be voting in favor of it. A lot of the comments that Lonnie brought up are already in the existing bill. It's not any changes that we've done. Our changes are basically regarding affordable housing and gap housing households. So I'll be voting in favor of it.
Thank you, Councilor.
I'll be voting in favor of it. I mean, like Lonnie had mentioned earlier, and we just kind of looked at the whole process in place, and everything is there, so I'm willing to move forward.
Any others? No? Let's get our roll. Okay, Councilmember Bulasan.
I'd just like to add thank you, Vice Chair, for allowing me to work with you on this bill. Mahalo to our staff for working with us and the members of the public for working with us on this bill. As we all know, housing is a crisis, and anything we can do to push any part of the needle to help support our community is very important. There's always, and whenever you make decent changes, there, like was mentioned earlier, like Mulena Ala, there's always going to be that uncomfortability, and this is exactly why we do this work. It allows us to be better as people. I'm hopeful that this will make a positive impact for our community. Any small thing we can do is important for housing. So thank you guys for allowing us to introduce this to all of you.
Thank you. Any other members? If not, take a roll call vote.
This is the bill as amended. Councilmember Bolasan?
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho?
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden?
Aye.
Councilmember Holland?
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kaua'i?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 excused.
That was our final. We got one more executive session. Clerk, could you read us in?
7, executive session, ES 1146, pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statute Sections 92-4 and 92-5A4 and Kauai County Charter Section 3.07E. The Office of the County Attorney requests an executive session with the council to provide the council with a briefing on the pending lawsuit Evan Skaben versus County of Kauai. This briefing and consultation involves the consideration of the powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and or liabilities of the council and the county as they relate to this agenda item, and ES 1147 pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statute Sections 92-4 and 92-5A4 and Kauai County Charter Section 3.07E. The Office of the County Attorney requests an executive session with the council to provide the council with a briefing and request authority for a possible settlement proposal in the lawsuit filed by Stacy Palomar and Donald Lindsay. This briefing and consultation involves a consideration of the powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities of the council and the county as they relate to this agenda item.
Could I get a motion to go into executive session?
Go into executive session.
Second.
Second. Okay, any public testimony? No, is there any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll to go into executive session.
Councilmember Bolasan?
Aye.
Councilmember Carvalho?
Aye.
Councilmember Cowden?
Aye.
Councilmember Holland?
Aye.
Councilmember Kaneshiro?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kaua'i?
Aye.
6 ayes.
So we'll also take our caption break at this time, so let's get back in the, oh, we don't need one, yeah? Oh, but we will be back after executive session. Thank you. we're back in order and we're finalizing our executive session. Matt?
Matt Bracken, County Attorney. So ES 1146 and ES 1147 was just held regarding 2 active litigation cases. The communication does need to remain confidential, and there is nothing to disclose to the public at this time.
All right, with no further